It's week 9, baby. Cardinals back at it this time away at Dallas against the Jerry Joneses. Let's get right to it. Welcome back to Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. If you're already part of the squad, hey, I appreciate you for riding with us, right? If you're new here, smash the sub button. It really helps out the channel. And the more we grow, the better content we can bring you guys. So let's get right to it, Red Sea. Who is starting at quarterback for our Arizona Cardinals on our Monday night game against the Dallas Cowboys? Look, we're officially split at this point, okay? There's a legitimate quarterback tension. I want to call it controversy, but attention for sure in Arizona, right? So Kyler Murray's the franchise quarterback. He's a franchise, guy, mostly because of his contract, but still, he's the franchise guy because he's been there forever. Jacoby Brissett is kind of like a grown man executor, okay, right? So with Dallas, week 9, it's a tough game for us for sure, and a game that could shape the rest of the season. This is going to tell us, are we buyers or sellers with the trade deadline coming up, and are we going to try and win still, or are we going to try, not really tank, but tank for a better draft pick? We find out that Monday night against Dallas for sure, in my mind. Okay, so this is the moment where somebody needs to make a real decision, not just hide behind contracts, right? So Gannon, sack up, dude. Pick somebody. Kyler Murray's electric when healthy and not panicking, but he's also chaotic. When it's clean, he looks like he could torch the league. He can beat anybody. But when the pocket collapses, when the moment demands structure and a grown-ass man, Kyler drifts away, right? With Kyler this season, we've been inconsistent but dangerous, right? Flashes of brilliance, long droughts, of course, and always a highlight here or there, but he rarely a death blow, right? He extends plays but not always plays the offense. He's Houdini, which is great until you need Tom Brady to deliver the ball. When everyone knows who it's going to, Tom Brady will still get the ball to that dude no matter what, all right? And you cannot stop him. Kyler, we need something like that from Kyler at times, and he hasn't been able to do it, especially not the season. He moves the ball in bursts, but the Cardinals still can't close fourth quarters with him, behind center, or under center. So that's kind of become the stain on his 2025 season for sure. Plus the losses, of course. Jacoby Brissett's not flashy whatsoever, right? But he's efficient. He's surgical when he's on. He runs an offense like it's a business meeting. With Brissett, the Cardinals' offense has looked like an NFL offense, not just a highlight reel. Better on third down, yeah. Better time of possession, absolutely. Better total yardage, yeah. But it doesn't wow you at all. He will stabilize you, though. And that's exactly what we've been looking for, right? It's exactly what this roster has lacked for this whole season, basically. An adult in the room when the pressure hits. So here's where my mind is at. Brissett hasn't won, right? He's played great football, but he hasn't won. So one guy's explosive and unfinished, and the other one is efficient and unfinished, basically, right? Neither is wrong. They're just two completely different identities. Dallas feeds on quarterback panic, right? Their defense loves when the guy can't stay in the pocket, can't step into the pocket, can't move the pocket, can't change protections and everything. If you run around, you're gonna die with guys like the defensive line, right? Like Micah Parsons not there no more. We saw what Micah did to Jacoby. Can you imagine what Micah Parsons, staying on the Dallas Cowboys would have done to Kyler if he plays on Monday? Come on, right? If you hesitate on your read, they get you. If your offense panic pre-snap, or your offense panics pre-snap, they get you, right? This is why I am leaning towards Jacoby Brissett to start against the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Because you know what kills Dallas? Clean, on-time, boring-ass football. Plain and simple. The exact thing the Cardinals offense has never had under Kyler Murray, but looks shockingly comfortable under Brissett. So you don't beat Dallas with chaos. You beat Dallas with clarity, with patience, with boring. And Jacoby Brissett gives you that. I hate to say it that way, but it is, right? That's what he does. So in my mind, you start Jacoby Brissett in week 9, right? Not because he's more talented than Kyler, because he's not, but because Dallas is a discipline test, not a Madden mixtape. So if Kyler still the franchise mostly because of the contract, yeah. But in this game, this matchup, you need stability, not fireworks, right? And right now, there's no question. I think Jacoby Brissett runs his offense better when chaos is not an option. Right now, is Jacoby going to start? Gannon already came out not long ago and said, hey, if Kyler's healthy, he's going to start against Dallas. And if Kyler was coming out playing like he did years 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I'd be okay with that because he can cause chaos and everything. The problem is he doesn't play like that anymore. He panics. He's just a panicky guy, right? After first of all, that injury he suffered in 2023 as a non-contact injury. He's gotten hit before 100%, but it's never really taken him out for a long time. But after that knee injury, he's terrified of getting hit. It really is odd, right? Like, it's really weird to see a guy that plays football be afraid of getting hit, right? And I know a lot of, I know people say, oh, he's a football player, he's not afraid of getting hit. I'm not saying that if you ask him, he'll admit it, What I'm saying is that's what he plays like. All right, I'm just going off the tape. I don't know Kyler Murray personally. If I did, I'd ask him a million questions. But I'm just going off the tape. The ball snaps. He looks like Khalil Tate. Sorry, Khalil Stray. I know he looks like Khalil Tate back on the Wildcats. When Kevin Sumlin took over as head coach, just panicked before the ball even snapped. That's what Kyler Murray looks like now, right? So we got to think about that. In my mind, I think you start Jacoby Brissett and you get him the ball and you let him bore Dallas to death, basically. All right, so what should this offense do? What does this offense need to do against Dallas? And we'll talk about the defense tomorrow for sure. But what does the offense need to do? Look, offense has been a talking point all season, mostly because Drew Petzing sucks. Now, it's time for execution, okay? If Arizona wants to beat the Cowboys, it's not about X's and O's just for show. It's about doing the little things the right way. So we're sitting at 205 heading into this matchup, and the numbers do not lie. We're averaging about 300 some yards right per game, about 20 points a game, 21 points a game. Meanwhile, Dallas at home, figuring out their offense and expecting to control, they're figuring out that they can control the tempo there. So that's what we need to take from them. So what does Arizona need to do to not only stay in this game, but to win it? Establish the run early and often. I know we don't have James Conner and Trey Benson, even now, still unproven, right? The Cardinals' run game was our strength last season. This season has been abysmal, hasn't even existed, right? Our rushing numbers from 2024, show top-tier production over time with James Conner under there, but Dallas' run defense has been tested this year, okay? If Arizona uses Bam Knight and Michael Carter to get the run going early, it forces Dallas to respect the ground and opens up the play action. Now, our offensive line has to get their heads out of their asses and actually be able to block and create some openings for these guys, especially a guy like Michael Carter, who isn't a big guy at all. Bam Knight doesn't mind throwing himself into the defense and really getting some hard-fought yards, sure, but we can't be doing that every single time, right? So attacking vertically and challenging, Dallas's back end is another thing we need to do. The receiving core need to step up. We got tools with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride and Michael Wilson and other guys and Zay Jones and all that. But too often we fail to stretch the defense deep and consistently convert third downs. Now we are better with Jacoby in that aspect than Kyler, but still not enough, right? Against Dallas, mixing deep shots with timely intermediate throws will force the Cowboys to adjust and loosen the coverage, and that's going to play well for Jacoby Brissett. Hell, that'll play great for Kyler Murray if he's able to help us do that, right? But with Jacoby, it'll definitely help us. Tempo, pace, being unpredictable. Petzing, are you watching? Please tell me. First of all, if Drew Petzing ever watches this show, he's going to hate me and block me on everything. But please, for the love of the football gods, right? Unpredictable for one time in your life, Petzing, all right? Because you haven't had that ever, it seems like, okay? Okay, I'm not going to make any jokes. I have a bunch of them, but half of them are inappropriate. But anyway, we cannot afford to be one-dimensional against anybody, but certainly not against Dallas, right? We got to use that quick timing, the quick timing plays, getting the ball out quick, fast huddles, occasional wild cards if we can, screens, misdirections, gadget looks, whatever you need to do to keep Dallas off balance, right? With so much hype, on Murray returning or Brissett playing, right? And the receiving core, we could leverage this kind of momentum for sure. It also helps that nobody really knows who's starting yet because Gannon, doesn't have the ball to say anything, or is playing the gamesmanship and everything until the league forces him to say something. But still, it's just something we got to work with, all right? Now, there's some mismatches that we can actually exploit here, right? Dallas's linebackers and nickel defenders are vulnerable in space. MHJ, Wilson, hell, Greg Dortch could create matchup advantages. Hell, Trey McBride is going to be able to create matchup nightmares for Dallas with the way he's able to run and move, right? Dallas could be hampered by injuries or rotation issues up front, which means our offensive line needs to hold up. We need to make sure that run game gets going, and you need to do it early and often, right? Dallas's offense often hogs possession. They're decent at that, right? Arizona needs our offense to hold that same possession type of edge. Third down conversion, urgency. Look, we have struggled converting third downs and sustaining drives overall. Now, we're better with Jacoby than we are with Kyler on that aspect. Totally admitted on that, right? Breaking that trend here will be huge to be able to not have to freaking struggle on third down all the time. If we can get fourth down conversions, or at least in third and long gains early, like it's gonna force Dallas to chase the game instead of be able to dictate it. If we could dictate that, we could dictate the pace, the way things are moving, the tempo, the momentum, especially. It would definitely be huge in our favor. So, look, if Arizona's offense shows up on Monday night with physicality in the run game, or at least effectiveness in the run game, because we have little guys at running back, and we stretch the field vertically and keep Dallas off balance with tempo, I think we have a shot. I think we can win this game. So if they revert to predictable passing, quick 3-and-outs, and avoidable mistakes, like Dallas will win at home, right? We need to make moves here. The Cardinals have the pieces, and this is where they either build momentum or continue sliding. It's that simple, right? You show up, you do the work, you win the game. Plain and simple, right? We need to out-offense Dallas, basically, because our defense has done solid for 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, they collapse every single week. That's definitely something we're going to talk about tomorrow night, or on tomorrow's show with, talking about, Rallis and Gannon specifically. But one guy that spoke out, which I was waiting to see if he would actually do it, which I think he would have if you asked him to, and he finally did because he was on Pat McAfee, and then he spoke to one of the local radio stations here. Bruce Arians, spoke up on the current Arizona Cardinals. And in BA fashion, he's not impressed whatsoever. First of all, that's the last real coach we had. Like, Gannon couldn't hold BA's jock. No way, right? But either way, BA spoke about it, and he summed up the whole 2025 Arizona Cardinals season so far. In one word, we got to finish. Well, finish is what he said, right? We got to finish. And he's right. Quote, to lose 3 straight on the last play of the game, it's just the bounce of the ball here or there, he said, end quote. And he said that. And yeah, on paper, that's true, sure. But the deeper truth that nobody really wants to hear is you don't lose 5 one-score games because of luck. You lose them because you don't have a closer mentality. We're not a kid. We have zero killer instinct. Again, I am getting tired of saying that. We don't close. We don't have killer instinct. It's the same BS every single freaking week with this team, right? We're not a bad football team, right? We're unfinished, right? And BA pointed out the obvious, right? We play hard. We're in every game. Brissett stepped in and has done more than enough to win football games, right? The defense looks like a brick wall for 3 quarters, right? The quarters 1 through 3. 1, 2, 3, season long. 78 total points allowed. Okay? In the fourth quarter alone, 76. If that doesn't give you a headache, I don't know what doesn't, all right? That is not random. It's not cute. It's a freaking cultural problem in the locker room. You don't accidentally collapse 5 times. That's failure to finish, basically, right? We're competing, but we just can't finish the damn game. Yeah, okay, yeah, losing James, losing Connor and Benson, blew a big hole in the identity that this front office built, right? Now, again, keep in mind, when they were both playing, this O-line still wasn't creating enough room for those guys, right? So that's another issue that we need to tackle, especially come the offseason. But this is supposed to be a power run, physical Gannon style identity team. BA even acknowledged it. He said, quote, maybe if they had the full strength of their power running game, things would be different, end quote. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we all agree with that, right? But then he kind of crushes the excuse, okay? He says, quote, look at Detroit. 4 starters out in the secondary, and they beat Tampa. They didn't play soft, right? End quote. It's the same thing. Arians did it in 2014. We lost 3 quarterbacks, still made a playoff run, right? I think we had a max, we had the local kid, we don't remember 6, I think it was, but he got wrecked. Anyway, but, leaders don't say we're missing guys. They say next man up, standards don't change, right? And that's a mentality that a lot of our coaches, Cliff Kingsbury, Jonathan Gannon, sure, Steve Wilkes back in the day, but we only got 1 season to try and make a move here. They try to change the culture and everything, but like, especially Cliff and Gannon, just seem to have to change everything. They throw everything out the window instead of say, hey, next man up. We're not changing shit. Let's go. We just don't do it. The offense has its flaws, no doubt about it, but the defense is the real betrayal right now, okay? 44-6. This is how badly Arizona's been outscored in the last 4 quarters alone, right? When BA was here, this team was the best fourth quarter team in football. Right? When it came to the fourth quarter, like we would look for the first 3. In the fourth quarter, it was, grab your nuts and let's go time. And BA was an actual tough coach. And he didn't have to put hands on you to do it. He was a tough coach. Right? I mean, when you cuss out Larry Fitzgerald, like you cuss him out, come on, man. You just, the franchise, the franchise legend, you cussed him out. He was like, okay, coach, let's play. Let's go. He believed in you. So I wish BA would come back. I really do. He's too old, and I guarantee he ain't trying to do that. But still, it'd be great. Yeah. Anyway, so we're a fourth quarter tragedy on repeat at this point on this team, right? And that's not a scheme. That's mentality, right? That's players freezing instead of hunting. That's not that's just not having a killer instinct. It's hold on instead of put them in the dirt. We don't put our foot on teams' necks anymore. We need to get back to doing that like we did in the past. So BA said it bluntly as he could, right? Quote, it's just somebody make a damn play to win the game, end quote. Damn it, we've been yelling that every single day, every single week. Every week we're just waiting for someone to make a friggin' play, and we don't have it. We just don't get them, right? That's the whole sermon. Don't play safe, right? Don't prevent disaster. Don't hope the clock runs out. Make a damn play, right? Take the ball, force the fumble, hit the kill shot, end the game. Don't survive it. Great teams force destiny. Bad ones wait for it. That's how it's always been. All right, and the Cardinals have been waiting forever, right? We're not an unlucky team. We just, like this Cardinals team isn't unlucky. It's passive, right? Until someone in that locker room steps up and says, not again, not today. We're gonna get this shit right now. We're gonna get this game. We're gonna keep losing the same exact way. And no matter, it doesn't matter who's at quarterback at that point. It's not gonna change. Plain and simple. So it's something that really, first of all, it bothers me about every Arizona team. We're like the nice guys. It's the most irritating BS label we have in the Valley, in Arizona specifically, being a retirement state or city, whatever you want to call it. I'm tired of it. I wish we were just those crazy fans that would call in the radio stations and cuss out the radio jockey for standing up or for picking up for somebody like Kyler, for example. It's just sad. It's a sad state of affairs in Arizona sports. And I'm not just talking about football. I'm not just talking about pro sports. I mean, college sports, same thing. But it is what it is, man. Until we start giving a crap about winning and holding somebody's feet to the fire, it won't matter. Michael Bibble still makes plenty of money with a losing team, obviously. So, here's what it is, folks. All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Cardinals Daily. I made a lot of, don't forget to hit that sub because, again, it helps us out a ton. The more people we get on this thing, the better quality we're going to be able to bring you guys week after, freaking day after day, really, because we do this every single day. All right? Hit the like, leave a comment. No comments again today. You guys been doing awesome on comments, by the way. I love it, right? If you guys keep putting in comments at the pace you guys have been doing it, at the rate you guys have been doing it, I'm gonna have to do comments every single day. So I'm gonna look at see what this video has, and for tomorrow's, I will definitely put comments on here if you guys threw a bunch of them in there. So get in that comment section. Let's argue. Let's discuss. If you think my takes are crap, let me know and tell me. But don't just let me know that they're crap. Give me your take and tell me why it's better. I love discussion. I love that. Honestly, it's why we do this, right? It's civil discourse. Be perfect. All right. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Red Sea. Let's just hope we grab one. All right, grab one because we need to find out this coming this game against Dallas on Monday night. We're gonna find out what we're made of and what the future holds, at least for the season. All right, go Cardinals.